Welcome you all. In this lecture, I will explain about the Pascal's law. So initially we need to study about what is the fluid pressure at any point. So here consider a mass of fluid. So in that one, a d of a small area in large mass of fluid. So for our derivations, so initially in that mass of fluid, the small area is considered, so that area is equals to d of a, and force acting on that area of d of a in the direction, in the normal direction is df. So here the small force acting on that small area of d of a. So then, so what is the pressure? The pressure is a ratio of force by area. So according to that, the pressure at a point in fluid at rest condition, the pressure is equals to the dF, that is a small force acting on a small area of d of A. If force F is uniformly distributed over the area A, in case the whole area of the mass is considered, so then pressure is equals to force by area. That means P is equals to F by A. Now force or pressure force is equals to, the F is equals to pressure into area. So generally some units are considered, that is a kPa is equals to kilopascal, then kilo is equals to 1000, the pascal is also termed as a Newton per meter square. So that is in case of pressure is measured in terms of bar. The bar is equals to 100 kPa. So that is equals to 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. So coming to the Pascal's law. Now what is the definition for the Pascal's law? The Pascal's law, it states that pressure or intensity of pressure at a point in a static fluid is equal in all directions. That means if fluid is at rest condition, now the pressure at any one point is equal at in all directions. So now in order to derive the expressions for the Pascal's law, so one wedge-shaped fluid element is considered, and width of its element perpendicular to the plane of paper is unity. Next, P of x, P of y, P of z are pressure or intensity of pressure acting on face AB, AC and BC respectively. So here there are three sides, that is a face AB, face AC and BC. Respectively what for through these phases the pressure acting in x, y and z directions are P of x, P of y and P of z. Forces acting on the element are, so there are two forces are acting on this fluid element. The first one is the pressure forces normal to the surface. The second one is the weight of element in the vertical direction. So these are the two forces are acting on the fluid element. So now consider that fluid element, the wedge-shaped fluid element. So there are three phases, the phase AB, AC and BC. In the direction of x, the pressure is acting P of x. In the direction of y, the pressure acting in P of y, and in the z direction, it is a P of z. Next, force on face AB. Now force on face AB is equals to, so that is the pressure acting in the direction of x, and area of that face AB is equals to dy into 1. So then similarly force on face AC. So force on AC, that is P of y, and area of face AC. So area of face AC is equals to dx into 1, and force on the face BC. So that is equals to P of Z, and area of face BC is equals to ds into 1. For that reason, the force on face BC is equals to P of Z into ds into 1. So these are the force acting on the face AB, BC and AC. Next, what is the weight of the element? The second force acting on this fluid element is weight of the element. The weight of the element is equal to mass of the element into acceleration due to gravity. So here mass of the fluid element, the mass of the fluid element is equal to volume in density. So that is because of our density is equal to mass by volume. Therefore, the mass is equal to density into volume, and g is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Next, so what is the volume of this uh, wedge shaped element, that is half into base into height? There is a triangular shape, that is half AB and AC into 1, that is a volume, that is 1, then rho into G. So now resolving the forces in x direction. Now resolve these forces in x direction. The x direction is equals to P of x into dy into 1. So that is force acting on face AB, and force acting in x direction opposite to this face AB. So that is equals to P of Z ds into 1. Then the sine into 90 degree minus theta is equals to 0. So now P of x d of y into 1 minus P of z into d of s into 1. So now sine 90 theta 90 degree minus theta is equals to cos theta. So then that is equals to 0. So but d of s cos theta is equals to AB. D of s cos theta is equals to AB. So that is equals to D of y. So now P of x dy into 1 minus P of z d of y into 1 is equals to 0. So now equating and simplifying this, we will get P of x is equals to P of z. So that is a expression number 1, that is a P of x is equals to P of z. Next, weight of the element, already we derived, there is a mass of the element into acceleration due to gravity. The mass of element is equals to volume into density, then into acceleration due to gravity g. The volume is equals to half into AB, face AB into face AC into, there is a volume, there is area into the width. The width is taken as 1 year, then rho into G. So now resolving the forces in y direction. In previous case, we resolved the forces in x direction. So now forces are resolved in y direction. So now, so that is equals to P of y into dx into 1 minus P of z ds into 1 cos into 90 theta minus 90 degree minus theta, 90 degree minus theta minus. So now weight of the volume is acting in downward direction. The weight of the volume is weight of the element is acting in the downward direction. For that reason, that is taken in opposite to the direction of y. The pressure force is acting in upward direction, but here the weight of the fluid element is acting in downward direction. For that reason, the weight of the element is taken as a subtracted from the minus that weight of the element is equals to half into AB into AC into 1 rho into G is equals to 0. So now simplifying this P of Y dx into 1 minus P of Z dx ds into 1 cos 90 degree minus theta minus now AB is equals to dx. The side AB is equals to face AB is equals to dx. Then AC is equals to side dy by 2 into 1 rho into G is equals to 0. So then simplifying this we will get the P of Y is equals to P of Z. The pressure on direction of Y is equals to pressure on the direction of Z. So that is expression number 2 here. So according to that, now pressure acting at any point is equal in all directions. For that reason, the P of x is equals to P of y is equals to P of z. So that is called as what? Pascal's law, or the expression for the Pascal's law is P of x is equals to P of y is equals to P of z. So next derivation, pressure variation in a fluid at rest. So what is the pressure variation in a fluid when it is rest condition or static condition? The pressure at any point in a fluid at rest is obtained by the hydrostatic law. So according to this hydrostatic law, so which states that the rate of increase of pressure in a vertically downward direction must be equal to the specific weight of the fluid at that point. So here according to this statement, the rate of increase of pressure in vertically downward direction, what is the pressure force acting in the downward direction must be equal to specific weight of the fluid at that point. Now see this figure number 2.2, the forces on the fluid element. So here A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D is a fluid element. So now the pressure force acting on face AB is equals to P of X into area of AB. Then pressure force acting on CD. So here the pressure force acting on face AB, that is in downward direction. Then pressure force acting on this CD, so that is equals to P plus the change in pressure in the direction of Z and area. So that is acting in upward direction. This is the pressure force acting on CD is equals to CD, that is in upward direction. And the level of, and here the delta Z that shows height of the fluid element, the then Z that represents the distance between the fluid element to the free surface of the fluid. So now here consider a small fluid element. This is a fluid element of A, B, C, D. The cross section area of that fluid element is delta A. Then delta Z is the height of fluid element. P the pressure on face AB. This Z is equals to distance of fluid element from the free surface. The same thing is indicated on this figure. Next, forces acting on fluid element. So now pressure force on AB, the pressure force on AB is taken as P pressure into area, the delta A, and acting perpendicular to the face AB in the downward direction. Then pressure force on CD, the pressure force on CD is equals to P plus the pressure plus change in pressure in the direction of Z, and area of that phase CD is equals to delta A, that is acting perpendicular to the phase CD. So now what is the weight of the fluid element? The weight of the fluid element is equals to volume into density into acceleration due to gravity. So here the rho is equals to density, the g is equals to acceleration due to gravity. So delta A, that is the area of the fluid element, and delta z is equals to height of the fluid element. Total it represents the total volume of the fluid element. The pressure forces on surfaces BC and AD are equal and opposite. So here in the pressure force acting on the face AB, that is in downward direction, then pressure force acting on CD, so that is in upward direction. So now for equilibrium condition, the pressure force acting on face AB, that is the pressure into area of that face AB, minus P, that is the pressure force acting on that face CD, is equals to P plus change in pressure in the direction of Z, or for the height of Z, and area of that face CD plus. So now here the weight of the fluid element that is acting in downward direction, the weight of the fluid element that is acting in downward direction, so that is rho into G into delta A into delta Z, that is equals to volume is equals to 0. So now P into delta A, and simplify these terms, that is multiplied with the delta A. At that time the P into delta A, there is a minus symbol is here, minus, and minus into minus here. Once again there is a delta P, delta Z into delta Z into delta A plus rho into G delta A into delta Z is equals to 0. So here some terms are get cancelled. So here this one get cancelled and this one is get cancelled here, and the remaining terms is minus uh, rho p by rho z delta z in delta a plus rho into g into delta a into delta z is equals to 0. So now take one term to the another side, to the right hand side. At that time this is rho p by rho z delta z into delta a, that is equals to rho into g delta z. So once again here this delta z and here delta a, so that terms get cancelled. The remaining term is the dou p by dou z is equals to rho into g. So that is the final expression becomes. Thereafter, the cancellation of their terms. So here, the dou p by dou z is equals to rho into g. So already we studied the weight density is equals to rho into g is equals to w. That is indicated small letter w, that is equals to weight density of the fluid. So because w is equals to rho into g, that is the weight density. So now integrating this one, pressure, the integrating of that, after integrating, so here the integrating of dp, there is a change in pressure, is equals to integrating of rho g z. So now we will get the pressure p is equals to rho and rho g and z. Now z is equals to the height of the fluid element from the free surface, that is equals to z, or that is also called as the pressure head. The z is also called as pressure head. The pressure at z is equals to p by rho g. So that is an expression for the pressure of the fluid element rest condition. So next, some terms connected to the pressure, that is absolute, gauge, and atmospheric and vacuum pressures. See this figure, that is the figure number 2.7. So here it shows the relationship between different pressures. So next, the y-axis that shows the pressure, and here it is the absolute pressure. That is here in x, here it is absolute pressure at zero. The absolute zero pressure. This line it indicates the absolute zero pressure, and here this horizontal line that indicates the atmospheric pressure. The pressure can be measured by taking either this absolute zero pressure as a reference or atmospheric pressure as a reference. So in case atmospheric pressure is taken as a reference, then the pressure above the atmospheric, so that is called as a gauge pressure, and then pressure below the atmospheric pressure, that is called as vacuum pressure. So in case the atmospheric pressure is taken as a datum of the reference pressure, in case the pressure above the atmospheric pressure, that is called as the gauge pressure, and pressure below the atmospheric pressure is called as vacuum pressure. In case the absolute zero pressure is taken as a reference here, the pressure above this reference absolute zero pressure, that is called as absolute pressure, absolute pressures. So these are the pressure method of measuring the pressures by taking these two reference lines, either atmospheric pressure or absolute zero pressure. So there are two systems. So one is it is measured above the absolute zero or completely vacuum, and it is called the absolute pressure. The second method is if the pressure is measured above the atmospheric pressure, and it is called gauge pressure. The pressure below the atmospheric pressure is called vacuum pressure. Then absolute pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. Here absolute pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. The P of absolute is equals to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. So now vacuum pressure. The vacuum pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure minus absolute pressure. Vacuum pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure minus absolute pressure. The atmospheric pressure at the sea level and at 15 degrees centigrade is 101.3 kilonewton per meter square, and atmospheric pressure head is 760 millimeter of mercury or 10.33 meter of water. So these are the some standard pressure values are considered. The atmospheric pressure at the sea level and at 50 degrees centigrade is 101.3 kilonewton per meter square. The atmospheric pressure head is taken as a 760 millimeter of mercury or 10.33 meter of water. So these are the some information related to Pascal's law, then hydrostatic law, as well as different pressure measuring methods. Thank you.